Okay, I just wanted to say, Cathy, that I think you're worrying unnecessarily.
Okay.
I don't think this will last very long, and you need to write about this because this is the context of being an educator.
It is. It is, and it's oh, I have so much to write about. It's exciting, and I just the conversations that have started because of jumping into these things has just been amazing. Like the conversation, I don't know, Liz, if I was talking to you, I can't remember where we are, but I did the conversation about what I did with my class in front of Atlanta and videotaped it. Have we talked about that? Yeah. So I did that, and then we did the presentation, and none of the others felt comfortable being up there. So I just presented and said, if you want to jump in, and one of the three members did when we presented to the staff. But afterwards, the principal came on and said, and it was like he was speaking your words, you two, and he said, or our words, he said, it takes a leap of faith, or he said something like that, to stand up in front of your peers and present what you're doing, put yourself out there. And, I applaud all four of you for doing this and for showing what you're doing in such a visible manner. And it was really cool. And then I had tons of conversations with different staff members. The very first was from an EA who is in a situation of hearing teacher talk, right? Because I presented it from teacher talk. And her comment was, thank you so much for showing us that you don't always understand the math that you're doing. Because as EAs, we come into your classrooms and we sometimes have no idea because we weren't taught this way. And to hear you say that has made just, I've relaxed about it. And that was incredible to hear. So there's amazing things happening. I don't want it to stop, but we can't talk about it as a staff anymore for the moment. So.
Well, you know what? Sometimes that reflective time is valuable too. So I think if you keep kind of some notes on it, kind of what's going through your brain, then it'll actually still continue to develop. And then the next time you get back together, you kind of maybe can share about some of the things you've been thinking about.
Yeah.
And a bit of distance from it isn't a bad thing. You kind of, it kind of sifts through and I forgot about that,
Yeah.
So revisiting will be an exciting thing too.
It will.
Interesting, you spoke about the EA, Cathy. I was telling Jackie that I have an EA in my class now, and she is so excited about, what we're doing in there, and that, the whole empathetic resonance is just on high frequency, it's just amazing. And the problem is we don't have time to, consult one another after. And so I've started sort of wrapping up 5 minutes early, so we at least have that 5 minutes to say, So Jackie came up with a good idea. She suggested that Lynn is her name. Lynn and I tried to videotape one of those 5-minute conversations or 10-minute conversation and model it in front of the kids because they're not going. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that, and I was thinking, that we really don't see our EAs as the great resource that they are. As far as for us, they're there for kids, and that's how they see their role, and that's how it's spelled out. But what a great resource they are for us, for feedback, for validation, for clarification, But like you just pointed out, unless we are willing to show that vulnerable side of us, they're probably less likely to open up too, right? So this is powerful.
The last staff meeting we had, I had organized some rotational stations to introduce what we were doing. And I was traveling around with an EA that I'd had in my classroom all last year. And we got along really well and had that sort of a relationship where, she was able to give me feedback. It was almost like she was a member of the class. And she said that many times that, she helped teach, she helped give feedback. She was like learning some of the stuff with the kids because of, like the math, we haven't learned that way, right? Yeah, so she was amazing. Anyway, so I was traveling around with her and the other EA who gave me that feedback this last time. And they started the conversation that the activity we were doing was very difficult for them because it was written in teacher vocabulary, and their vocabulary is about the same stuff, but it's different because they have different PD and they have the different viewpoints of all the material, and they don't feel like they have a voice in these proceedings because of this the perceived role that they have.
Yeah.
And that's a huge question for inquiry is how do we have these conversations like you're saying you're having with how do we see them as a member of the classroom? How do we engage that and use their reflection? The other EA came up to me after the presentation and said, okay, here's something I've just read. How does this fit in with your project? Are you seeing this? So she brought up the point that, I don't know, something like there's new research that says only 30% of boys feel like they have a voice going out of high school, something like that. Mm. And she said, are they talking in your class? Are they talking about math? Do they volunteer to speak about all these things? And it was just fascinating. But she couldn't do that for the whole staff. She had to do it privately because she said, I believe I'm seen as only an EA, and therefore my voice is not valid.
Yeah.
And, it's a challenge.
So you are building a culture of inquiry, Cathy, because a culture of inquiry is non-hierarchical. It's built around everybody, inquiring. All you need is an inquiring mind. You don't need a degree. Yeah. You need an inquiring mind. And with a purpose to improve, to be, to help those students learn better. So you're doing that. And, people are not going to speak
so the
up.
next step is how to spread it within these staff meetings.
Well, you need to model it. The modeling it will do it.
Yeah. Yes.
You just need to model it, Cathy. That's all you need to do.
Just live it.
Oh, we lost her. Where'd you go?
She said we froze on her.
Okay. Well, see if I can get her back.
Yeah. She might go off and come back on. But she's still there.